Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution. I probably sound like I'm tired. Good morning. It's Monday. It really does feel like a Monday after a holiday. Like I feel it. I totally feel it. It's the Monday after a long weekend. And not because I was out partying all weekend. We were up till eBay Live. We were eBay Live in it last night till 11:30, maybe after 11:30. Man, it was a late show. I knew it would be a late show, and I wanted it. Well, I didn't want it to be a late show, but I expected it to be a late show because I wanted to play around with something that just a little experiment based on some news that we heard over the weekend regarding eBay. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about eBay Live, my experimentation, my card show trip yesterday. Boy, did I underestimate what I was gonna do at the card show yesterday. Holy moly! But it worked out well on eBay Live last night. How was your weekend? How was your weekend? So, trying to think. I didn't go live on Sunday. What did I do Saturday? Trying to think of what I did Saturday. I shipped. I did some shipping. We did go on eBay Live Saturday night. All right. So I'm wrong a lot. I'm wrong a lot. One of the things that I was, there were multiple things I was wrong about regarding live selling. I thought the best bang for your buck as a seller would be to curate. And here's the GOAT auction with Brady and Jordan. And here's the autograph only auction. And here's the blah, blah, blah. Name your poison. Pick your poison. I was wrong about that. The request, the surprise, load everything in. Take the time to load everything so people know what you're going to auction off. Nah. Then people see, he's got a bunch of crap I don't want. But if people want to check in, they're like, well, I don't want that 1978 Topps card, but I want this modern shiny refractor. Well, here you go. And then all of a sudden it draws everybody in. Go back to vintage, go back to basketball, go back to baseball. And so we try to make everybody happy. So I was wrong about that. Where was I going with this? I was wrong about a lot of things. Saturday night, eBay Live. I did a live on Saturday night a few weeks back. I'm like, Friday nights and Saturday night, especially in the summer, who's going to be bidding on stuff on a Saturday night on 4th of July weekend? That's got to be the worst time to ever do an auction, a live auction. Wrong. Killed it. I don't know if it broke my record. I'm trying to think of what my number was. It might have been Saturday night might have set a new record for sales. If it wasn't, it was very close. Now, last night beat it. Last night was a new record. So it's a great weekend on eBay Live. Saturday night. And I think the previous, if I went back, and I have the numbers, I'd have to go back through each show. But I'm pretty sure a top 5 probably would be set, because I've done quite a few Sundays, and Sundays tend to be great selling nights as well. But who would have thought Saturday night would be among my best performing sales days / nights. So it was a great night on Saturday, great night on Sunday, even better last night. We were rocking and rolling, taking today off from selling so we can ship, and then I've still got, I bought a ton. I'm going to talk about what I bought at the card show, although I can't find a pile of cards, and I went through and I looked, and Is it in here? Well, I did have more Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. All right, but I'm still missing. I'm missing 2 Caitlin Clark Prism rookies that I bought yesterday that I did not sell on the live stream. And I do know they were in my bag because I saw them when I was sorting through stuff when I got home. So I have them. I just don't know where they're at. The only other place I can think they would be if I put them on the coffee table when I was sorting yesterday. Oh, there's a Wemby. This is like what I do on eBay Live. Look through piles of cards. This is driving me. Yeah, I know we all do this, but there's that something just eats at us, and it's like I've got to get to the bottom of this, no matter if I'm doing something else or not. I've got to solve this problem. That's where I'm at right now. It's like I've got to find these. They're not in this. They're not there. I know they wouldn't be here. This is driving me nuts. All right, so I'll find them. They're around here somewhere. Anyway, Saturday night, great show. Sunday night, great show. Rockford Card Show was awesome yesterday. Definitely didn't expect to spend what I spent. And I could have, I'm thinking back of all the stuff that I passed up, especially what it was selling for last night. It's like, oh my God, I should have just bought everybody's boxes that I bought from. Like, what do you want for the whole box? So hopefully in some of the dealers, I'm trying to think of who the dealers I bought from. Now, John, I see he lives in Indiana, so he doesn't make it out this way too often. He does a lot of the Chicago shows. And I used to buy from him all the time. He used to set up in Rockford regularly. He actually set up in Madison once or twice early on. Who else? Jay lives down in Illinois, and he said he'd been trying to get into the Janesville show. So I told the guys, the premier promoters, John and Mike, I'm like, Jay, get him into Janesville because I bought a ton. I'd buy more. There's another dealer that had cheap slabs that I was looking through, and I had to hit the ATM a second time. And I hit the ATM, and then I went, and I hadn't even been on the other side of the room, and I started buying some stuff, and never made it back to the other side. It was at wall to wall. There was another dealer in the corner that there were so many people around that I didn't even make it, didn't even get to see what was, and I'd never seen that dealer before. So I'll talk about it. We'll talk about the Rockford show. I bought a lot. I'm just going to go straight into the chat because I've got a lot of stuff that we're going to get to this morning. Not much of a monologue. Gem City's in the house. He's poolside in South Carolina. Hey, you're down in Keenass territory. Dan's in the house. What's going on? Philly Joe's here. Good morning. Mikey's in the house. What's happening? Dan says, sold a bunch of Burley dupes to a fellow collector on TCDB. Very nice. Mikey says, after the live the other day I was watching, now I know why you're up over 100% in your numbers. Isn't it wild? My numbers are now up, because last night was a wild night, 169% year over year. Last in June, we'll compare June 2025 to June 2024. My sales were up 400% in the month of June compared to June of 2024. In June of 2024 was, I think I have my spreadsheet in front of me. Let me see what June compared to the rest of the year. 2024. Okay, so June was a good month last year. Wasn't my best month, but it was, I think it was like June was like my fourth best month in 2024. And this June beat that June out 400. I did 400% more than what I did in last month. I would have been happy at that point in June of 2024. It's like, if I could do this every month, I'd be good. I'd be good with this number. And then obviously when you start growing and growing, it's like, F that. So yeah, eBay Live has been just absolutely insane, and it keeps getting better. I'm getting better as a seller, buying stuff that people want, understanding, not really understanding, just listening to what people want and buying it, and buying it at prices where I know there were some things at the card show yesterday that I passed. There was one table that had 2 second-year Walter Paytons, which, I mean, some of the 80s Paytons have been going for crazy money the last few auctions, and it's like, man, I could probably make, but it's that, a lot of dollar cards are selling for $20, but $20 cards aren't selling for $200, right? The 10 or 20x. The $20 cards might sell for 20, 30, 40. Every once in a while something goes crazy, but there's that, I'm finding that like balance, that happy medium where I do need like good stuff because, I want to increase those numbers and get that average sale price up, but at the same time it's like I got to be careful because the right people may not be in the room. So there was a couple instances. The Payton second year, I think the sticker price was 40. I thought about offering 60 for both. But I'm like, I don't know. It was one of those where it's like, I don't quite know. But I think I would have crushed it on those if I would have ran them. If I would have bought those last night, say if I would have got them even at $40, I think I would have crushed it. I don't think they would have sold for like 75, 80, but they may have gotten close to 75. I mean, I sold a 72 high number, just absolute beat to shit high number 72 football for like $45, just beat to shit. Where if I would have put that at a buy it now on eBay, I probably would have listed it for $10 as a buy it now. So, very disappointed in a purchase I made. I won some auctions, and I won a Tom Brady. I probably would have crushed it on this. It's a 6, but it's also the Torkers, like the blue press pass rookie card. Look at that crack. That crack was not in the auction. It's also on the backside. The seller had it in a team bag and a bubble mailer. That was it. Zero protection, unless you call the bubble mailer protection. So I had a message. I'm going to return it and get a refund, which sucks because if there wasn't with that crack, I could sell it. But and somebody because I had this, I showed, somebody wanted to see it during my live on Saturday night, and they're like, started at what you paid for it, and I'm like, I could do that, but it might only sell for that price, and then I'm out the fees and shipping, and if it wasn't cracked, I'd make money on it for sure. So I'm going to send it back and return it. I don't want a partial refund. I don't want any of that, because as a seller, I want to do to other sellers what I like done to me. Like, all right, let's go through the proper channels. I'm going to message the guy, send it back. We'll send you a refund. Boom. That's exactly how I would have handled it. Now, I wouldn't have handled the shipping the same way. That's besides the point. D Pyres in the house says, good morning, Neo. I wanted to talk about this today. Neo has a new video about eBay testing extended bidding for regular auctions. Now, I love this. as a seller. I hate it as a buyer. Although I don't use sniping tools, like as a buyer, I should like it. I hate. I could probably get some great Facebook buys. I see a lot of like 24 hours after the last bid. It's like, Jesus Christ, do you mean I got to wait 24 hours? And it's like, I hate that. So I don't participate in any auctions on Facebook that I see that have that like extend. I like the hard stop time. As a seller, I love this. I think it will, and some people disagree. I think it will lead to higher sales. And what does eBay want? eBay wants higher numbers, because when something sells for a higher amount, they get more money. They get more money on the final value fee. I think this is a direct correlation from eBay running out eBay Live. eBay Live, yes, eBay Live's been around for a couple of years. eBay basically ignored it for 2 years. They just started putting manpower. They've opened up in a new department of people in multiple positions, like dozens, if not hundreds, running eBay Live. They sunk a lot of money into it. And over the last, I've been a part of it for what? Not quite 3 months, a little over 2 months now. And they were just starting to ramp it up. I mean, when I was starting on eBay Live and when I started like looking at eBay Live sellers, there were like 4 sports card sellers that were active on eBay Live. Like 4. ComC, PCB, and there were a couple of like doing singles. Like there might have been a few more that did it every once in a while. Like Kruk Cards was on, but I don't think I ever saw one of their auctions. I know Greeny every once in a while popped on, but there was very limited sellers in the sports singles category. And now all of a sudden, now you go to eBay Live, there's a lot. There's more and more are getting added. So that's why I've been that's why I'm burning the candle at both ends, because I need to capture an audience and I don't want to get left behind and new sellers come in, more competition. I've got to strike while the iron is hot. So I think eBay testing this out. So what's been reported is eBay is going to test out extended bidding for regular auctions. Extended bidding that's a part of eBay Live if you so choose. I don't typically do extended bidding on a lot of auctions unless it's like a slab or a higher value card. And why do I do it on slabs and higher value cards? Why would I do extended bidding on higher value cards? Because they go for more money. What does eBay want? More money. I played around with it last night. I'm like, you know what? We started off with extended bidding. There were complaints in the chat. I want sudden death. Sudden death is better. Why is sudden death better from people in the chat? Because they are buyers. And what do buyers want? Lower prices. What benefits the buyer? Sudden death. What benefits the seller? Extended bidding. So I do think, and I've seen some tweets out there that, oh, this isn't going to help eBay. They're not going to make more money. They'll probably lose. No, they won't. They'll make more money. It's just a fact. Now, live selling is different than static auctions, but I do believe. Why does every other auction house why is every other auction house extended bidding? eBay's like the only auction that is not extended bidding. Why do the other auction houses do it? Why have they not gone eBay's route? Because they make more money. So it'll be interesting. As a seller, I like it. I haven't run a regular auction in several months. I don't plan on doing it. But I honestly probably would do more auctions as a seller. If there was extended bidding, because why do eBay auctions suck for sellers? Why did I scream from the rooftops, eBay auctions suck? Because it's not extended bidding, because it's sudden death and you got snipers and stuff goes for cheap. And so I think extended bidding is good for the seller. It's good for eBay, and it's not so good for the buyers. Matt, hey, long time no see. What's going on? Said the show in Green Bay had a good turnout yesterday. Awesome. Rockford was wild. Had an awesome time. I want to share a story. Gem City says, sometimes I feel like Northern Illinois, Wisconsin is the card show capital of the world. I feel like it is. Northern Illinois and Wisconsin, there was a show in Green Bay. So I'm in Madison. So I'm in a really good spot because I am 2 hours from Green Bay. I am an hour depending on which side of Milwaukee, I'm an hour and 15 to an hour and a half from Milwaukee. I'm an hour to Rockford. I'm 2 hours door to door to Rosemont and the Donald Stevens Convention Center. Now, west, there's nothing. I guess Dubuque has a show every once in a while. I've never been to the Dubuque show. There's really if you go west of Madison, it's like a card show desert. Although I think there has been shows popping up in La Crosse. And Dubuque has a small show. But other than that, it's card show desert till you get to like Minneapolis or Cedar Rapids, Iowa City. So yesterday I wake up and it's like, well, I don't have to wake up as early because I'm not setting up. So it's like, well, I've got to get, I do want to run to the bank to run to the ATM, and make my mushroom coffee. And so I got up and I was on the road by 7:30, I think. Hit the ATM, and which reminds me, I've got to increase my withdrawal limits. I hit my limit yesterday. So hit the ATM and excuse me. Hit the ATM, hit the road. And I'm cruising and I pull in. I love the venue. So the Rockford Card Show is in a new venue. And what I love, this is fucking genius. Shout out to Mike and John who run the premier card shows. Fucking genius idea. So they ran a pop-up show. They're like, hey, there's no other shows in like the area in Northern Illinois on this day yesterday. And like, let's do a pop-up show, but let's not have a show of like all of our regular dealers. Let's only open it up to our waiting list. Fucking genius. It's like, man, I should do a pop-up show, like find a small venue in Madison. It's like, okay, if you set up at the regular shows, you can't set up here, but if you're on the waiting list. I love the idea. For me, I don't love the idea of another weekend doing a card show. One weekend is enough for me. As a promoter. So it's great location. It's right on State Street, like just off the interstate. Just take a right, boom, take a right. It's a banquet hall attached to the Holiday Inn. There's a sports bar attached to it. It's like, man, this is an awesome location. I love it. I hope they keep doing it. And I hope they bring back the same vendors that did yesterday. So I pulled into the parking lot and I pulled in at 8:45, assuming I don't pay attention. I thought the show started at 9. And I'm like, well, if I get there at 8:45, I'm going to be, I'm going to be late against all the regulars. So I'm pulling in and I see like 2 or 3 dealers like wheeling carts into the venue. And I'm like, well, I guess I do know there's probably quite a few first-time card show dealers. Maybe they're like, well, the show starts at 9. If I show up at 8:45, that gives me enough time. That's what I thought. I thought wrong. I walk in and like nobody's set up. Like everybody's like setting up. And John's wife was there. I'm like, hey, what's going on? And she's like, hey, let me see where you're at. And I'm like, oh, I'm not setting up today. And she's like, oh. And I'm like, does the show start at 9? She's like, no, it starts at 10. And I'm like, oh, I'm early. So then I saw Mike and I'm like, hey, man. And he's like, you're early. And I'm like, I thought the show started at 9. So, But there were a couple dealers, and I actually, before 9 o'clock, I was able to buy, or before 10 o'clock, I guess, I was able to spend quite a bit of money. And it afforded me to go through all at John. He had, gosh, like 6, 8, 3-row shoe boxes of top loaded $2 cards. Basically, when I'm going through bargain boxes like this, I'll go through, and I've gone through, like the last time I went through his boxes, I didn't find anything. Like they were pretty cherry picked. Not yesterday. There was freaking, I don't even know how many cards I bought, but I bought a lot. And I could buy more. Like some of the hockey autographs, I probably got them for $1, $1.50 because I bought so many cards. Some of them were selling for $20 last night on eBay Live. 20x, a pretty good 10, 20x, pretty good return. So usually what I do in boxes like this, I'll pick up a pile. Usually I'll eyeball like, okay, if I find more, I'll buy this. Kind of like that. I'll just kind of keep a mental note. Okay, there was one card, but if there's only one, I'm not going to buy just one card. And so I'm going through. It's like, oh, there's good. Keep going through piles. Excuse me, I'm tired. Didn't go to bed till like 1 o'clock last night. So I'm digging through, and I just keep pulling. It's like, all right. So I get through this box, and I'm like, all right, if there's nothing in this last stack I go through, I'm going to quit now. I never quit. I went through every single box and filled up. I brought 2 long boxes, filled them both up, had to go to the car, get empty boxes. So that was a good start to the show. Brian's in the house. Good morning. Offbeat All-Stars. Bought a box of cards off Craigslist for $10. More than enough Jordans to sell to get my money back. Very fun for only $10. I love it. I love it. Bargain Boxer says Madison traffic yesterday was brutal coming back from Eagle River. Yes, we may have passed. So, and I'm glad you brought this up. So there's basically only one interstate that goes through Wisconsin. And it's 90 from Rockford up to basically Madison, goes in and then it kind of juts over to Wisconsin Dells and up to Eau Claire or La Crosse. There are forks in the road. So all of the traffic is on this one interstate. Thank God they increased the lanes a few years ago because it used to be just a regular 4-lane interstate, 2 on each side. Because now all of the lane in all of the lanes now are packed. So I'm driving down to Rockford yesterday, and I set my cruise control when I'm on the interstate. I set my cruise to 83, and the speed limit is 70. So I'm flirting a little bit with danger because depending on which cop you ask, they'll say they'll pull people over at 11 or 13 miles per hour over. They usually have a 10 mile or 12 mile per hour buffer. At least most cops that I've talked to. So I set mine at play. I flirt with danger, 83 miles per hour. 83 for any score listeners. So 83 miles per hour. And I'm usually blowing past drivers because Wisconsin drivers tend to be a little slower and tend to clog up the left lane. And so usually when I set my cruise to 83, I am flying by cars when I'm traveling south or north. And yesterday morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, like there's like 3 cars coming up on my ass. I'm like, what in the hell? Like I'm getting passed left and right. Here comes more. Illinois plates, Illinois plates, Illinois plates, Illinois plates. Speed demons from Illinois, the fibs. And then going back, and I took a photo and I tweeted it out because it reminds me, I don't often drive. Well, actually, I do. I don't often drive to Illinois on Sunday, especially on a holiday like a 4th of July weekend. I'd be coming back. But often I do drive back from Illinois back home to Wisconsin on like a Sunday of a holiday in the summer where people are in Eagle River, Wisconsin Dells. And all the fibs are returning home from their Wisconsin playground. And it reminds me, I mean, it's like camper, 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 boat, camper, camper, boat, 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 camper, 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 camper. like just the whole way down, coming, driving back into Illinois. It reminds me of the opening scene of What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Every time I'm like, oh, here comes the caravan going back home. And of course, the day before or whatever, they're going north, going up to the Northwoods or the Dells. Sunflowers in the house. Good morning. On eBay Live, do you intentionally decide how much info to give about each item? Just curious what your strategy is. No. I don't. I'd never even thought about that. A lot of times I know nothing. I've got some Luca. I picked up a bunch of Luca color out of the box I was just talking about. And so like this is easy. I know this is a green prism, but there's stuff like this where I know it's a prism, but I don't know, is it purple and green? Is it a green and purple? Is it a silver prism and it's just bordered like that? So sometimes I don't offer much information because I honestly don't know. And I'm just rapid fire selling and I don't want to take the time to look. So the answer is no. Yes and no. Sometimes I do intentionally give more information because I actually know it. Other times I don't know, so I just don't share much because I'm not gonna make stuff up. So yes and no, I guess. Bargain Boxer says, I've been trying to get everybody to go on eBay Live because you're killing it. eBay Live greater than whatnot. And here's why. Here's why I'm killing it. Because there's not as much competition. Whatnot is flooded with sellers. eBay Live is being restrictive with who they let on. Now they are letting more and more. If you go on to, so on an average, today's an average Monday. If you would have went to eBay Live a month ago, 6 weeks ago, eBay Live, ebay.com/eBay Live, there would have been probably four sports card single streams in a day. PCB, ComC, Pacific Coast, and I could probably see. Let's just share the screen so you see what I see. Where's eBay Live? There we go. All right, so we're gonna share this screen. Oh, let's minimize me. Okay, so here's live now. Crystals have always been live, but back a month ago, there would have been one, maybe two streams on at this time. And look at how many live streams we have on eBay Live right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 just on the top, and they might only have 7. Let's go into sports cards. So, and we've got 9 a.m. It used to be the first one, 9:40, 10 a.m. So getting early. PCB, they're starting to go earlier. Damn them. That was my time slot. I like 10 a.m., an hour before ComC started. So on a normal day, you'd get 4, maybe 5 streams in the sports card trading category. Let's check it out and see how many we got. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across. 10. Oh, wait. July 8th. Oh, so only 9. So only 9 are scheduled. Okay. So, but that's still twice as much. And you're seeing a lot of newer, Shop 528. I don't know who that is. OPC Baseball. That's a relatively new eBay Live seller. PCB, ComC's doing twice. Catch up from last week's little mishap. A&Z Comics, they've been on eBay Live for a while. This is a Cerberus Comics. That's a new one. Crave Collect is fairly new. Wicked Discounts is newer. So there you go. We're getting quite a few new sellers. I got to get mine scheduled. My next stream is going to be on tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central. Orlando, what's going on? Good morning. Bargain Boxer says a buddy of mine wants to get on Whatnot because guys are buying dollar cards and are spending $20. A lot of stupid people on Whatnot. Sunflower says, I like how you will quality check each item during the auctions and pull the item last minute. If it's objectionable, this builds trust for sure. Yeah, and it's sometimes I miss it. I honestly sometimes somebody well, there's a banged corner on that one. It's like, oh shit, yeah, I guess there is. But yeah, I've got a pile of cards to my left. There was something last night that I was gonna actually it's something last night that I bought that it's like, oh shit, this has a banged corner. What was it? So I didn't. Oh, it's a Peyton Manning. It's like this was a great card. It's just got a banged bottom left corner. Collector's Edge 2000. It was also I thought this was a 98 because I didn't check the back. So I'm not as disappointed because it's a 2000, but I paid $1 for that. So I wasted $1. Bargain Boxer, we're counting down. Can you believe it's only 23 days to the National? Holy moly. I'm looking forward to that. I mean, after yesterday and just I'm so excited. I'm so excited to spend money. And I'm so excited to do an eBay Live from the hotel room at the National. Hopefully, I think I'm going to have to spring for and buy internet when I go to I might get a discount since I'm a rewards member or since I've got I don't know, maybe I wonder if I can do points. Can I buy Wi-Fi with my points? Lofi Joe says, sorry to hear. I got a slab only and a bubble mailer too this weekend. Luckily, mine was okay. God. I mean, I'm even nervous. Usually, if it's a cheap slab, I will I'll cover it all in cardboard and then put it in a bubble mailer. And I'm a little nervous. But once it gets to like $50, then I put it in. I'll either double bag it or box it up. And I bought from Supply Hut, I bought a ton of boxes. 8x7x3, which are actually a little smaller than I even had a tape measure. I was measuring boxes and it's like, okay, this is the ideal size for what I'm shipping, what I'm using boxes for. I must have mathed wrong. Good morning, Jody. Gem City says, Whatnot is going to sink and die before long. That's my prediction. I don't think so. I think Whatnot is here to stay. I think it's strong enough. What I do feel is going to happen, they will get challenged by other live selling platforms. A lot of people are fed up with Whatnot and what they're doing and what they've done and what they haven't done. So I think there's going to be, live selling, and I mentioned this before I was even live selling. I think it is the future of e-commerce. There's going to be more platforms coming up. eBay Live is certainly going to give Whatnot a run for its money. Other platforms will surface and stick. Other platforms will surface and die. Existing platforms may not survive, but I think Whatnot is strong enough to survive. Philly Joe says, trust and non-shadiness. You can't go wrong. Never understand people that operate otherwise. I don't either. It's so much of a hassle. And I probably got a message because I'm gonna have a pissed off buyer because I canceled his order. And I did so because 1, 2, 3, 4 messages. I did so. So I've got a seller who bought. He's probably already left me negative feedback. So he sent me an offer for 12 Riley Green rookie cards. I had them for $1.50, great price. He sent me $12, good offer. 12. He wants 12. I'll take your offer. But he followed up with me like 4 hours later. I don't, especially on offers like some, I don't even look. I don't have time on some of my buy it now stuff, when it comes to this. So he sends me a message 4 hours later, looking to get deal done today. Thanks. And I saw it's Riley Green, $1.50. I'm like, so I go and I look at it just to see. It's like, okay, he wants 12. All right, I'll accept the offer. Now, granted, this was July late night, July 2nd. Get 4th of July. Remember, I'm 3 business days shipping. July 5th, awaiting shipping. Like, dude, it's 3 business days. The holiday weekend. I said items ship within 3 business days. This morning, right before I went live, awaiting shipping with emojis. And I'm like, all right. So now, in the meantime, I was already prepared to cancel this order because I'll hold on and I'll tell you why before I read the rest of the messages. So after I had received those messages, I'm like, this guy seems like a pain in the ass. So I go look at his feedback. Now, he's got all positive feedback, but that doesn't always mean it's positive. So let's see. Let's go through some of his feedbacks. The worst customer I have ever dealt with in my many years of selling cards. Incredibly rude and impatient. Purchased a $12 card with PWE shipping and requested a refund before standard PWE shipping timeframe had elapsed, which delayed the return process. Messaged me no less than 20 times, demanding a refund immediately, name calling, and more. Scroll this buyer's feedback before selling. Don't do it. Now's the part where they say I'm a clown and made all this stuff up. Insert below. And guess what? There's a response. Again, another clown seller leaving retaliatory feedback when filing for a missing item. Has my feedback removed and leaves me negative comments. Buyers beware of this clown. Do not buy from this seller. Here's a different, most impatient, disrespectful buyer ever. Card was shipped in 1 day and received in 4. Awful buyer. Do not recommend. But wait, there's more. Here's another, a different seller again. These are all different sellers. Negative feedback. Buyer purchased while I had my source set to time away. Messaged him after he made this purchase to inform about delay. No response. Blah, 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 blah. And this person, here's another one. Block and avoid this buyer. Ordered a card while my store was set to away. Messages were sent confirming this, and refund was even offered but declined. That's 4 separate in the last few months. And I know there's more because there was at least 6 that I read where I'm like, okay, this is enough. Oh, this buyer was very rude and requested a dispute 2 days after he paid. I cannot refund him money because of the dispute, nor will I ship his card to someone so disrespectful, saying I'm trying to scam him when I was out of town, and leaves a terrible review on my page. Very sketchy. Disputed the order with their credit card company 2 days after purchase within handling time window. Would not sell to again. It sounds like buyer was difficult to work with and left unjustified negative feedback after an order cancellation. Their feedback history reflects a pattern of problematic behavior, and the responses to feedback are rude. Sellers proceed with caution. Absolutely horrible experience with this buyer. Wants his way or no way. Will leave you neutral feedback for no reason other than you not doing what he wants you to do. Shipped on time and buyer received the item in the time frame shown. Still went on to leave bad remarks. Wouldn't recommend buyer. I'm like, okay. This is pretty clear. So, all right. So I think I'm warranted. So this morning he says awaiting shipping, and I'm like, all right, I already know this guy's history. He's going to leave me negative feedback anyway. I don't want his $12. I'm just going to cancel his order. I said, would you like to cancel the order? That's all I put. Would you like to cancel the order? No, I've waited this long, not canceling order. But that was a very rude and sarcastic response, though, as a seller. And that's when I'm like, I'm done with this guy. And that's when I canceled the order. I said, well, and before I said, as I mentioned before, all items ship within 3 business days. And then I canceled the order. And then he responds, clown, I will make sure people are aware of your bad business practice. All other sellers had no problem shipping my items. And out of 20 sellers, you're the only clown who's holding out. Wrong. Look at your feedback. I will make sure social media knows you lied and put in that I asked to cancel my order. Dirtbag clown. All right, I'm not even going to respond. So I bet he's left me negative feedback already, unless he was busy writing. And this will get removed in no time. Oh, there it is. Buyers beware. When asked about shipping like 4 days later, seller says item ship within 3 business days and then proceeds to ask me if I want to cancel order after already paid several days ago. Then refunds me. Do not do business with this clown. There you go. So I'll request a removal. Hopefully, though, he was correct. He's not lying. It was 4, but it was not 4 business days. It was like, I don't even know. Was it 1 business? Yeah, it's been 1 business day. This is the 2nd business day. All right, here we go. Scammers going to scam. Whatnot's not going anywhere. I agree. All auction houses have extended bidding. Lawsuits and lack of transparency are what will sink them. Scammers will find other platforms. I don't think so. I think Whatnot will they'll survive. Like a cockroach. Orlando says all auction houses have extended bidding only for previous bidders. Definitely good for the seller, not the buyer. Bargain Boxer says Champagne is a card show desert. Philly Joe says, if you're a buyer, put in your max bid and move on. And that's what I do. Hooter says, good morning. Attended the worst show ever. Bargain Boxer says, Matt Toon. Examine Baseball. What's up? FYI, stamps go up at the end of the week by 5 cents. Are you adjusting? No. I basically adjusted a year, 2 years ago for future stamp increases. So my prices are already built in to withstand that. I've also been taking down a lot of my buy it now orders or listings. It just takes me. I've been doing so much volume and live selling that the buy it now slows me down. So no, it won't affect me or my shipping. Max says, bad idea, LOL. That's when you know there are too many shows. Bargain box. And you know what? I used to be 2 years ago. I said, there's too many shows. It's not good. I disagree. I think it's great. And here's why. You do a show in Madison, Rockford, Green Bay, wherever it is, every month. You do a monthly show. Guess who's there? The same dealers month after month. Now, most dealers are really good and turn their inventory over. But for me, what I buy, if that was a regular Rockford show, I would have bought from like 1 or 2 guys. And that's it. I bought from like 6 or 7 dealers yesterday because they don't set up at shows. This is great to do a pop-up show with different dealers. Show is packed. I do this again next month. Now, I understand if you start doing this month after month, the same dealers, they become regular dealers also. So, but in the interim, because most of the dealers that I shopped at yesterday, I would buy from again. So from my standpoint, and I know not everybody buys what I buy. I don't buy what everybody else buys, what other people buy. But this was a perfect show for what I buy. And it was a good mix of it was not oversaturated with Pokemon or sports. There was a nice balance. It was a great show. It was a great show. Max says, no loyalty needed right now. And that goes both ways. TD Sports Cards, good morning. Peter says, I'm late. Hi. Dan says, stamps are going up by 5 cents. Isn't that a lot? Yeah, they've been bumping it up the last couple of years. Card Safari says, go ahead and drop that username in here for the benefit of all of us. You fucking right, I will. All right. Let's see. V&M Deals 24. eBay buyer to block. V and M Deals 24. You get names. Brock's in the house. What's going on? What's your advice on putting together good value boxes? That's a loaded question. Trying to balance having good cards for value prices, but also not trying to have $20 to $25 cards in there. The only like appropriate, correct response would be you've got to know your cards. You've got to know the values. If you don't want to put $20 cards in a dollar box, just don't do it. Unfortunately, that's something you've got to know, whether you take the time to comp everything. A good value box, in my opinion, is there's meat on the bone for both. Some people may have more money into their cards. When I buy bulk, a lot of times, and this was, there was one dealer I bought from, I'd never seen him before. And he's like, yeah, I just have so many of this card. He's like, if I sell it for a couple bucks, I sell it for a couple bucks. $20 card. I got it for like $2 or $3. And had, a lot of cards that were, similar, maybe not quite 20, but, definitely maybe 20 on eBay Live, but not, an easy $10 card. But if you're not sitting on millions of cards, thousands and thousands of cards, maybe that's not good for you as a seller. Sometimes I go through and there are times when I would go shop my own bargain boxes if I'm running low on inventory. It's like, I need this, this, or this. And it's like, oh crap, I have these in my quarter box and I can move these on eBay Live, or I can put these in my buy it now section. So for me, it varies, but month by month, it can vary. Ideally, a good bargain box is, say, a dollar. Let's just say a dollar box. A good dollar box is filled with cards that are $3 and maybe throw some $5 cards in there. I think some dealers get too cute when they do dollar cards, $2 cards, $3 cards, $4 cards, $5 cards. Now, can you still get deals as a buyer in those? Absolutely. I rated a $2. There was at the last Janesville show, new dealer had all the way $1 through $10. Each dollar amount had a box. $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, etc. And first I went to the higher dollar stuff. It's like, what can I turn $10 into 40? $10 into 30 or 20? And I'm like, I might be able to, but I'm not going to take the chance. And then I go to the $5 box. And again, it's like, this stuff, it might only sell for $5. Then I hit the $2 box and I loaded up. And I mean, there were $2 cards. In the $5 box, I might have made $10 on, say, an average price of $10. But I probably averaged $10 out of the $2 box just based on what was in there. So I think a good value box essentially is something that leaves meat on the bone for the buyer, but also you're not giving away $20 cards for $1. Unless you have excessive inventory and it's like, I don't care. I'd rather have, the money right now. So there is no, it's a very gray area because each individual seller is going to have a different feel on it, and buyers have a different feel on it. I mean, there's some stuff you put in a dollar box. I'll sell dollar box cards all the time that I'm like, why did they buy that? And it's like, well, they needed it for a set. Maybe it's a 73 Topps football card. And it's like, why did Ray Mansfield sell? Well, they needed it for their set. They'll pay $1. I mean, there's Cub stuff. I'll pay $2, $3. I paid $2 for a Ryan Brazier Topps Heritage Chrome Refractor, which if it were Colin McHugh, for me, like Ryan Brazier, I wanted it because I wanted to get it autographed. It was like a Colin McHugh, same card. I'd have that in my quarter box. So there's all sorts of different buyers, different sellers, but I think all in all, you want to capture both segments as a seller. You want to capture, because flippers, resellers are going to buy more from you. Collectors are going to cherry pick, and some might, if you depends on what you have in your boxes, but a collector may sit down and spend a lot of money with you. But usually it's the flippers. They're going to go through and stack it up and buy a whole bunch. So that's why I like to load them up a little bit with some decent returns. There it is. V&M Deals 24, and is spelled out. V&M Deals 24. Block that dude. He's a fucking clown. Max says, good value boxes are created from collection buyouts. When there is little to no value placed on them, more about the buy than the sell. Anything under $5 should be $1. I agree. And that's, with the collection I bought last week, like there's a lot of stuff that will end up in my quarter boxes because it's like, or I'll lot them up on eBay Live. I can't believe what some of the prices on some of this sealed wax. I sold a 90 Donruss rack pack for like 20 some. Now Ken Griffey Jr. was on the front. Sold for like 20 some dollars. I sold an 88. The 88 score went for like $50, I think. The 90 score went for like 80. Unopened box of 90 score went for like $80. I bet that's not too crazy though. I bet that's at least a $50 box. Let's look it up on eBay. Oh, you can go on eBay right now and buy one for $45 shipped. I was off. Let's see. Let's see what the last sold was. It's a pack. 45. All right. So almost double the comps on it. Max says, good value boxes are created from collection buyouts when there is little to no. Oh, wait, we just talked about that. Also, don't cut your throat and price out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or be known as the guy that does that, but cuts it by 40 to 50%. Brock says, thanks for the advice. I set up for the first time this weekend and got a little too cute, I think, with $1 and $2. Max says $1 and $5 is small enough of a spread. Yeah, if I were to spread it out, because I don't want to take the time to like, okay, what's the more denominations you have, the more thinking is involved. I like to go through a box and be like quarter card, dollar card, quarter card, dollar card, quarter card. And usually it's quarter and dollar. Because anything that I would put in a $5 box, I would put on eBay because it's going to probably be a $10 card. So for me, I'm separating like quarter stuff and dollar stuff. And sometimes there's crossover. Like depending on if I just bought a huge collection and I've got 100 Sammy Sosa 90 Fleer rookies, sometimes those sell for $10 on eBay Live. I'll put those in $1. Like, oh, wow, these are selling for $5 to $10 on eBay Live. I'll put these in the dollar box. Well, now I've got 100 of them. I don't want to put 100 of them in my dollar box. Well, put them in the quarter box. Andy says, I just went to a shop with the shittiest boxes. Not only was there no meat on the bone, but every damn card was overpriced. Unsurprisingly, the shop was bursting with inventory. So I want to relate this to a dealer that I ended up spending the most money with yesterday. I was going through a box and he had stuff that I love because I love buying it because it's nostalgia. It's 80s. Even though I just picked up a whole bunch of it, I still have some in my car. But I was going through and he had a lot of like 70s and 80s, like really good inventory that I could flip on eBay Live. It was just a little. They were great comps. But it's like, hey, when I'm running auctions, it's a little risky. So I'm like, it's a little overpriced. But he did have like a 25%. And there was actually some stuff like I ended up going through. It was a 2-row shoebox. I ended up going through all the cards. And there's enough in here. There's a few cards in here that I would buy. So I ended up circling back because I'm like, I get so many requests for 86 Donruss rated rookie Jose Canseco. And for whatever reason, I just don't see those. Like I see Bonds, McGuire, I see Boggs, Sandberg. I see that stuff all the time. But the 86 Donruss, I just don't see much of Canseco. So I'm like, there's got to be one in this box. So I went back to his table. I'm going through. And I didn't really look at the rest of his table. So I went through the whole box. And I'm like, there's just not. I just don't know if there's enough meat on the bone in here. But it's exactly the stuff I want. Maybe he'll work out a deal if I buy a whole bunch. He'll knock it down more than 25%. Because some of the stuff, it's like, 25% is not a good enough deal. So I went and there was a guy sitting down digging through like a box that had top loaders based on what he had. And this is why you dig a little deeper. And I would have made a lot less money on eBay Live last night had I not dug a little deeper at this particular table. Based on what I saw in the box of $10, $20 cards, I'm like, well, he's probably not going to have good, like this stuff's going to be like just random commons and semi-stars and stuff that's not going to move. So there's a guy sitting at the top loaders, and then he had a couple binders, like everything in this binder $1, but there was like a Barry Sanders that stuck out. And I'm like, Barry Sanders like sells like crazy. So I'm going to pull this Barry Sanders. I'm going to go through, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, wow, here's another good fit. And then I got to bat like, oh, there's some Dennis Rodmans. I think one of the Dennis Rodman sold for like $40. It was $1. So I went through this whole binder, and the guy that was next to me, he got up. So I'm like, all right, if he's got this stuff in $1 binder, what's he got over here in these boxes? So all of a sudden I'm like, so what's the price on these? Because they weren't marked. Some of them had like stickers. He's like, oh, these are $2 and $3. I'm like, oh. Donruss rated rookie Bo Jacksons. Pretty much everything. I sold everything last night. What else? Just a ton of stuff. So I just absolutely rated that. There was a beam team, Reggie Miller. There was a scoring kings, David Robinson, Jordans, Kobe's, just rated it. And I would go back. And that's the dealer that I told him, like, hey, get him into Janesville. I think there's a Janesville show in August. So, which probably won't be, I probably won't go to another show until the Janesville August show. I mean, the National, obviously. So the National's probably the only show the rest of the month that I'll do. I think there's a show, DuPage, which is a hike. I think that's next weekend. So I won't do that. And we're going to be in Maine. We're flying out to Maine a couple days after. So I need to really this coming weekend, I need to spend getting all of my shipping, do some eBay lives. So I want to really ramp up before vacation. Brock says $1, $2, $3 cards. I think I'll just stick to $1 and focus on moving inventory. That's a great plan. Yeah, I think when it's broke down, I typically, honestly, and this is from a buying standpoint, if I saw $1, $2, $3 boxes, depending on the room, if there weren't many other bargain box dealers in the room, I'd probably stop and look. If there were a lot of other dealers in the room that had stuff I was looking for, bargain box stuff, I'd probably walk by if it was that detailed. Like I won't look at boxes that are divided by sport or divided by team. It's like it's too organized. I want chaos. So but now if there's not much competition in there, I'd probably stop and look. Philly Joe says, do you ever ask a seller how many cards will you give me for, say, $25 in a dollar box? In a way, yeah. Usually what I do, honestly, I don't do this as much anymore. I used to. Like there was a dealer at the National where nothing was, and this was when nothing was priced. And I'm like, so how much? He's like, oh, it just varies. And I'm like, well, what if I buy 200 cards? Like I want to buy 200 cards. Like what type of price? He's like, well, what kind of cards are you going to buy? And I'm like, well, can I give you a stack of like 20 cards that I've already pulled and that I would be interested in buying at, depending on the price, I would be interested in buying. So I gave him 20. He's like, I do $1 a card. I'm like, well, shit, I wish you would have told me that to begin with. Like these are the best of the cards that I was going to pull. So usually it depends. Like right now I'm cherry picking. I don't need bulk anymore. And I guess even like some of the, I bought hundreds of cards from a couple different dealers. I'm going in. I know what I'm buying. I already know what my return is going to be approximately. So when I go into a $1 box or a $2 box, I'm not going to, like yesterday, I don't think I did that with anybody. And now one dealer, the first dealer I dealt with, I know he's going to give me a good deal because I've worked with him before. But the other dealers I'd never worked with, but like I was happy, like I was getting such good deals on the cards. Like I didn't like waffle, like I didn't. But in the past, yeah, I've like, all right, if it's like I've done. There was a dealer who had, this was a long time ago, $2 autographs. And I'm like, if I bought 100, would you do $1 a card? Would you do 100, $1 a card basically? And he's like, yeah, I do that. So it all depends. Sometimes I get enough value in sticker price that it's like, I don't need to negotiate down. I know I'm going to do well with what I bought. And everything that I bought yesterday, like I didn't feel the need to get a volume discount on anything. I honestly don't know if I got a volume discount on anything yesterday. I'm sure I did. But like I knew even at sticker price, I'm going to make money. Max says, correct. Gotta buy cheap. Sage no-name autos were $3 ish. Those I bought, those like I would pass in a $1 box. ugh, that's a hard pass. If I could get those for 50 cents, I would buy them. But even at $1, Sage No Name Autos, like those are a tough sell. Max says, I just find it hilarious when dad comes back and said, I found a card X at a guy's quarter box and 2 tables over, it's in a guy's $5 box. Don't be the $5 guy. There was a show, was it, and ironically, it was Chipper Jones. There was it at the Spectacular? It was a Chipper Jones minor league card, and it was in a $1 box, like the 92 Classic, which I passed at the time. Now it's like, ooh, Chipper Jones, 92 Classic. I'll sell this for $20 on eBay Live. Maybe the guy knew. He was foreshadowing, predicting the future. And a guy had it on his table for $25. I'm like, this is in a $1 box, just over here. I think it was at the last Chicago it was at the November Spectacular that I was at, Chicago. Ziggy, what's going on? Happy Monday. Thank you. Appreciate it. Examine says 1990 score, baseball or football? Baseball. I bet football's probably the same price. I wonder what 90 score football is. I don't have any 90 score way. So 45 is the let's just do football. There we go. Oh, football's even cheaper. Last sale on football, 25 shipped. But their 90 score baseball is a lot better. Basically because of 2 cards. Andy says, I was prepared to spend up to $500. I ended up leaving after 20 minutes. That's the biggest bummer when you go into a card shop or a card show and you're like, I'm going to spend this much money, and you go home empty-handed, or you spent like $20. Like one, just talked about the Spectacular. I've now been going back to every Spectacular where I took a couple years off. The first one I came back to in November of 23, 22 maybe, 22 or 23. I like, look, I want to buy stuff, and I bought 3 cards. I bought 3 singles, 3 Venezuelans of players that had played for the Cubs, commons. I'm so disappointed. Like, before I'd gone to the Spectacular and I just raked in bargain boxes. The bargain boxes sucked. They weren't bargains. Max says, I'll be honest, I haven't been to a solid shop in a long time, but I have zero desire to go to a shop either. Too many shows and get better deals because shops use the overhead excuse. There's some good shops out there. I don't want to reveal too many. I've talked about Jennings and Freeport frequently, so I'll name that one, but I don't want to name names and lose my honey holes. Andy says, same. I knew it was a long shot, but was in Cleveland visiting my dad and had a couple hours to kill. Lots of shops seem to exist by selling boxes. And that's what really powers brick and mortar is wax. That's what pays the bills. Max says, always got to try new ones, but sadly, I know the feeling of being disappointed by shops. Brock says, interesting. Maybe I won't divide by team either. Kind of adds to the hunt for sure. And some people, this is like the age old, this is chicken or the egg. Some people will walk away if it's not sorted. Some people will walk away if it is sorted. I set up the first show that I started setting up at right before COVID, I did quarter boxes sorted by team. And I had the fancy label, Chicago White Sox, St. Louis Cardinals, New York Yankees, blah, blah, blah. And I had a couple people like, oh, this is great. A lot of them are just all over the place. And then some people are like, I wish it wasn't like me. Like, I don't want to look at it sorted. So it's, I feel like it's about 50-50. But if you sort it by team and then you're like, you have set builders. Do you have any 1982 Fleer? Well, maybe. Who are you looking for? Well, at least you can narrow it down. If they're looking for Jody Davis, they go to the Cubs section. But they have to go to each tab, and it's not like 82 Fleer. Max says, no, less sorting is better. I agree with that. I like less sorting. Plus, from a selling standpoint, the less sorting means more time. More sorting means more time that you spend wasting time on quarter cards or dollar cards. The more it's sorted, the more you think someone has messed with the inventory. That's exactly that's the psychological aspect. And that's what I think. That's exactly what I think when I see it's like, well, that's been cherry picked. East Coast Tom in the house. Good morning. How often do you set up at shows? Infrequently. I think I've only set up at 3 or 4 shows this year. I've set up at the Janesville shows. Oh, I did set up at DuPage back in March. I think that's it. I think maybe 3 shows. I'll set up in Janesville next month. Yesterday I just went as a buyer. Obviously Madison I'm not setting up. So, and it's just not, it's like yesterday was awesome because I didn't have, like, the one benefit is you have a table to keep all of your stuff, but also like I found it more beneficial because I bought some higher end stuff at the last show I set up, and it's like I don't want to leave I don't want to leave that box there unattended. But like yesterday, I filled my boxes. I had my backpack, filled my boxes, and I just dropped them off in the car. And parking lot's right there. Boom, just take these boxes out to the car, come back in. I don't know. Maybe I won't set up in Janesville next month. I don't know. But I like doing it just because you're there, you're set up, but also like you're handcuffed. You know, I'm handcuffed there. I got to load all this stuff up. I'm dealing in quarter boxes, so I got to load in a ton of shit. It's just kind of a pain in the ass. Florida baseball card dude in the house. Good morning. Max says catering to collectors versus flippers with lower end stuff like that decision. Search and rescue. Good morning. In our shop, we have all our value sorted by the player's last name. We have over 50,000 cards. Holy crap. See, I wouldn't even know where to begin. Flippers tend to spend more because they have a wider range of stuff they will buy. Collector will look at the Cubs, then leave. That's right. Neck. Brock says, yeah, I actually set up yesterday for the first time in Rockford. Brock, did I buy from you? I can't decide if I like being the buyer or vendor more. So I was at the Rockford show yesterday. So yeah, I'm trying to think of, the first dealer I bought from was John, Jay, another guy at the back. Ninja Squirrel. Max says, I like being the vendor because I buy better stuff for cheaper than what other tables have. True. All right. I'm going to wrap things up. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Visit my eBay store, 99centcards.com. I kind of want to stop promoting my eBay store because the buy it now section takes more time to ship, to pack, to pick, pack, and ship. It's like, I kind of don't want you to buy 7 or more cards because it takes more time. So just come see me on eBay Live. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central. We'll be back on tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Michael's just in time to say goodbye. Goodbye, Michael. Like and subscribe. Have a great Monday, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning.